The next joint assembly I'm going to demonstrate is very unusual and maybe a first for Dowelmax. I'm almost certain this couldn't be done with the domino, biscuits or poker hole systems. It may be possible with the mortise and tenon system, but it would be an arduous and lengthy process. It involves interconnecting these three workpieces using one long dowel. Many of the items I design include what I call an inner vertical. The reason for the inclusion is that I want the drawer front, which is here, and the door front, which is here, to butt against the inner vertical and not the leg itself. On the surface, this requirement leads to problems with dowel placement and fouling of the dowel arrangement, but these problems can be overcome by drilling the inner vertical completely through. Let's get started. As you can see in this design, there are three rails, upper, intermediate and lower. The top one is 2 1/8 deep, so we can install 3 dowels. These are both 1.8 deep, so we can install 2 dowels on each one of those. Now the thickness of these rails is 7/8, so again we have to employ the simple Dowelmax formula. Half thickness less 3/8, so half of 7/8 is 7/16 minus 3/8 is a 1/16 spacer required. So to do that, all we do is remove the 2 knobs on the reference bracket, install the 2 brass washers, exactly a 1/16 of an inch each, tighten it up, and then you can, using the check marks, you can center on all these rails. Now, with respect to the leg itself, I like a relief, and for this thickness of wood, 3/8 relief is ideal. So in that case, then all you have to do is remove the 2 brass washers or shims and install the 3/8 spacer, and this will give you exactly a 3/8 relief. Now we have to use exactly the same spacing on the leg as we use on the inner vertical, and so we place your check marks, reference from the top and the front. So you do 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3 to give you those 3. Then use this distance gauge. It's marked on the important end. Install it in the last hole. I try to get into a system of always doing the same thing so you don't get confused. I usually always use the last hole for reference. So you install that there, bring Dowelmax up to the end of and drill 1 and 2. And once you've done that, remove that one, install this one, again in the last hole, bring Dowelmax up to it butts to the end here, and then drill 1 and 2 again. Very, very straightforward. So now we have to use the same procedure with the inner vertical. So this is 7/8, so again we use the 2 washers, and we use the check marks to align, and there's a check mark on the end here, so we bring it up to the check mark, align the end here. Now we do exactly the same thing as we did for the leg, and we're using this backing piece to prevent a lot of tear out. And of course we're going to drill 1, 2, and 3. Okay, once that's completed, move it down, take the small distance gauge, insert it in the last hole, Bring Dowelmax up to gently touch. Make sure this is parallel. Tighten Dowelmax evenly. Now this time we're drilling 1 and 2. Remove that one. Install the extended distance gauge. So again, make sure it's parallel. Butt Dowelmax to the pointer and tighten up. And again, we drill 1 and 2. Just stress these up a bit. Set the 2 1/4 inch dowels evenly spaced on each side. Very snug, which is ideal. Now, isn't that quite something, how perfectly aligned that is? I do hope you're impressed. I'm always impressed. Keep your eye on your check marks. There you are. Now this is a much more aesthetically pleasing design than having the drawer or the door up against the leg. It's ideal as far as I'm concerned.